Yeah, welcome back, you guys. Welcome back. Welcome back, and welcome to another exciting episode of Late for the Party on Anchor FM. I am your host, Melodious, aka Cover Boy, the Modern Marvel. That's right, you guys. We are going to get into a word around the campfire. This is going to be a little interesting twist because this is going to be two popular franchises, but in different aspects, but they somehow link together because we're going to talk about Ryu and Chun-li, Street Fighter's first lady and first man to ever grace the scene. You know, Ryu gracing the scene back in the 80s, Chun-Li being the first lady ever to be in fighting games ever to join Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. So the Chun-Li and Ryu are getting getting the Power Ranger treatment. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to be honest about Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. Honestly, I mean, it looked like it could be like the game can actually look like it could be played on your phone, but this game is fun. If I said like the successor to like Marvel versus Capcom has like infinite, like it would not be infinite. It would be between Dragon Ball Fighters and Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. Like honestly, this game is off the hook, and it's a Power Rangers game. Like it's awesome, and I watched the trailer, and you know I've seen them actually do this crossover before, and I think it was on the actual mobile game where Ryu was a playable character, but he was known as the Crimson Falcon Ranger, where he wound up getting one of the Power Ranger coins, and he was able to turn into a Power Ranger. So, and it was off the hook. The design looks off the hook. Like, honestly, I say like fighting games in general, like that disappointed me, like was obviously Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and you know, and how like Capcom just doesn't really, really put its characters out there. But as of late, we're starting to see Ryu and Chun-Li pop up more so, like Capcom characters popping up in certain games. Like I'm starting to see them, but you never really see characters from other games join Capcom games. But I digress from my point. But my whole thing is when it comes down to, you know, Ryu and Ryu and Chun-Li, these are like the characters that if it wasn't for Ryu, there would not be a Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. So you have to give credit where credit is due. But just looking at just how the gameplay was, oh my god, that was like, I'm actually excited. The game comes out in the fighter pack does come out in May. They showed Chun-Li's character as well, so she is the Blue Phoenix Ranger, which I like, and I love how the story, like how they're how Battle for the Grid explains the characters that are in the game and how this whole thing meshes in with each other. It's like you have multiple Rangers from different Power Ranger from different universes in different grids. Well, they call them the grids, so it's kind of like you would think like DC's multiverse. It's kind of like the multiverse, but for Power Rangers, but they're calling it the grid. So, and Tommy, in one timeline, Tommy becomes the villain. He's Lord Draken, and he has both powers of the Green Ranger and the White Ranger, so they're in fusion with each other, he's now known as Lord Draken. So now he goes back into the past to take out Tommy, the original Green Ranger, which is dope. I mean, it's a dope, compelling story. If you haven't read the comic book, this is what it's basically based off of. So, man, this game, and it's fun. Like it brings the feels of Marvel versus Capcom with the easy punch buttons to where all you have to do is just press buttons to where you do like a combo, a automatic combo, and one move does a super move, and it's dope. It gives you those qualities of Marvel versus Capcom too. Like some characters remind you of certain other characters that have been in other fighting games, especially like Capcom fighting games. I do notice that a little bit, but I mean, I guess with with Ryu and Chun-Li being in the game, I'm pretty sure they might have had some kind of insight or got some okay to use certain techniques to where some folks might feel kind of familiar. But like I said, looking at the trailer for the game, and I'm like, wow, this is gonna be interesting. Like for me, being the arcade, being like the fighting game beat 'em ups kind of guy. I mean, this is the stuff that we need. Like this is like, I mean, keep in mind, Power Rangers Battle of the Grid has been out since 2019, and I mean, yeah, 2019, I believe, and you know. I mean, I ain't watched Power Rangers in like God knows when, but like when playing this game, it's interesting like how some of these characters are created and how they're being used, and like it's actually off the hook. Like I got some favorites on here, and definitely I gotta start playing, putting them on my late for the parties games play. So definitely check those out once I upload everything to my YouTube channel as well. But and sometimes I kind of bash Capcom for like certain things, especially all the stuff they did with Street Fighter V, and they kind of cleared that up a little bit with all the stuff that they've been doing. But there's some issues I still have, like we don't have a Darkstalkers game, but we're just focusing on Street Fighter, Devil May Cry, and Resident Evil when you have so many more IPs out there that even though at the time most folks were like, well, it didn't make us any money, but why do the people who want it so much, I mean, you would come out of pocket for it, right? But like I said, I digress from my point. Well, we're talking about Power Rangers, but I mean, look at Power Rangers. I mean, they've gotten a resurgence since they've been doing their comic books, and the story of the comic books have been pretty off the hook, especially with this Battle for the Grid series, where like I said, Tommy Oliver became a villain, and he's like one of the big baddies in the game and in the comic book, and like all the other Power Rangers from the original had to really do something about that. And man, I can't front. And then seeing like Ryu, and like I said, this crossover has happened before, but it was in the mobile game that the Power Rangers game had, which I believe was Battle for the Grid. But then all of a sudden, now we got it on consoles, and then not even like, yeah, maybe like almost 2 years later, now we're getting a Street Fighter pack coming in May and we get Ryu, known as the Crimson Falcon Ranger, and he looks dope with the little headband on and got his little gloves, and it's like a amalgamation of a Power Ranger suit with the color of his gi and like the splash of the red and gold, and got the little visor with the little falcon helmet. I was like, damn, dude, like wow, we're getting gems in a freaking fighting game that's not Capcom related. But has its characters as DLC. I'm tripping off of that. That is off the hook. But Like I said, I digress from my point. I'm going to get off the hook because I have to get on the road. But either way, you guys, I just wanted to say that and whatnot. But this is the Word Around the Campfire on Late for the Party on Anchor FM and Late for the Party live on YouTube. So please like, comment, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and support the podcast on Anchor FM. Also, you can check out all the listenings of my podcast on all 10 platforms, whether it's Spotify, Apple Music, whatever platforms that it's on, it's there. Castbox, you name it. Also, you guys, check out all the cool t-shirts and coffee mugs and all the cool merch on the Late for the Party store on teespring.com. So, as always, you guys, I am your host, Melodious, aka Coverboy, the Modern Marvel, signing off. And as always, if you're going to be late for the party, turn it up to 11.